Hey guys, I want to post what I think is YouTube's first video of this particular bike. It's the Canyon Ultimate CF SLX 9.0 in red. I've been looking for this bike, or I've been stalking their website for the past 6 months, and I finally got my hands on one of these last week. I've had this bike for about 2 weeks now. I've been able to put 100 miles on it, and let's go over some quick first impressions here, and then maybe do a walk around with the bike. So this is the, like I said, Canyon Ultimate CF SLX 9.0. It's in the red version. This is an extra small. I think out of the box, this bike weighed a little over 14.5 pounds. With my pedals and bottle cages on there, it comes in at maybe 15 pounds, 5 ounces, something like that. Those are the Osimo Duo power meter pedals, and those are just 2 bottle cages from my previous bike. So yeah, about 15 pounds, 5 ounces or so with all that stuff on there. Very light bike. You really feel that when the road points uphill. It's a very responsive and very stiff bike. Anyways, one of the first things I noticed on that ride that I did the other week, we did 70 miles. It was a group ride. We averaged close to 21 miles an hour. And for those of you that kind of pay attention to average speeds, you know that to maintain or to average 21 on such a long ride with a number of stops, you're probably going more like 23, 24. We were getting on it, and one of the first things I noticed about this bike was how vertically compliant it is. By no means do you feel disconnected from the road, but I think the bike as a package dampens a lot of that road vibration. So without having a professional fit and just kind of messing with the seat post and the fore and aft of the seat, I was able to get myself in a comfortable enough position to do 70 pretty much the day after this was delivered and the day after I built it. So, but yeah, that was one of the first things I noticed, is that we'd be on these roads, some not so smooth, and I found myself not being in such a hurry to jump from the rough side of the road to the more of the smooth side of the road. This bike handled the bumps really, really well. And I don't know if it's the wheels, the seat post, the carbon frame itself, whatever it is, just as a package, it handles road vibration really well without seeming like it's disconnected from the road. By no means does it seem like you're disconnected. In regards to the overall ride, I guess, of the bike, it handles really, really well. You point the bike and it kind of goes. It has a very stiff front end. It inspires confidence. The bike carries speed really well. I don't know if it's the aero position it kind of puts you in. I don't know if it's the wheels themselves, but the bike seems to carry speed. The bike wants to go fast, and the bike wants to stay going fast. As far as the fit of the bike, I guess I was under the impression before I bought this bike that the Air-Road from Canyon is their all-out race bike, and on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the Endurace, which is their, endurance bike, your all-day endurance bike. And in between was this bike. That's not necessarily the case. I mean, it sort of is in some respects, but, don't kid yourself. This is a race bike. If you are looking for a more relaxed fit, and you kind of have your eye on the Air-Road, I wouldn't go with this bike thinking that this is going to be like an all-day comfort bike. I would go with the Endurace. If you have this idea that you just want to be comfortable and knock out hundreds of miles on your bike, get the Endurace. This is a bike that puts you in a more aggressive position than I thought it might, which is a good thing for my style of riding. But again, for those that are looking for a slightly more relaxed fit, don't kid yourself. This might not be your thing. You probably want to go towards the Air-Road. But if you are an all-around cyclist who has some amount of flexibility and doesn't mind a slightly more aggressive position, then this is your bike. This is a bike for me. I love this bike. This is awesome. What else I want to say about this bike? The wheels seem to carry speed. As I said, I don't know if it's the aero cues on the bike or it's the wheels themselves, but the bike wants to go fast and stay fast. And I don't know if that's the wheels, but the wheels are they seem to cut through the air. They do catch wind a little bit. You do get blown around a little bit. It's just maybe the nature of some deeper wheels there. But the wheels seem to want to just carry the bike forward. maintaining speed on this bike is very easy to do compared to my old bike. My old bike was a Cervelo R3, and I love that bike. It's light and stiff, but this bike, it's newer. It's 10 years newer. My last bike was it's a 2019 frame, or I'm sorry, 2009 frame. This is obviously the 2019. So things have improved since then. Let's talk about the brakes. In regards to the wheels, the brakes. These are the Dura-Ace brakes with Swiss stop pads on them. I was a little worried that maybe the carbon wheels with these rim brakes weren't really going to do the job. They are fantastic. They are awesome. I guess I would have rather had rim brakes, not based on the performance of these, but just kind of if I would have had the option to get a reasonably priced Canyon Ultimate with disc brakes, I probably would have gone that route just because I feel like that's sort of the direction that road bikes are going. But I got this bike knowing that rim brakes have been working for many years and they will continue to work for many years. These brakes with these pads and these wheels are awesome. They are awesome. These work better than any brakes I've ever owned before. And all my other bikes have been like, aluminum rims with normal, 105 and maybe Ultegra calipers on there, and these stop faster than any of those. Now, as for its wet braking performance, I don't know. I don't ride my bike in the rain. I'm a fair weather cyclist, and I'm trying to enjoy my time out on the bike. I don't want to worry about getting wet. But if these got wet, who knows? Oh, I guess I can do an update if that happens. But as far as the dry braking performance, they are stellar. They are awesome. Dura-Ace shifting, as you can expect, it's crisp and it's fast and it's great. The seat is a very personal kind of thing. This one works for me. I did 70 on this. I might have to get a new saddle. We'll see. I've done 100 miles on this bike so far. I did 30, just kind of a 30 mile zone 2 ride the other day, and then did the 70 with the group. The spirited group ride, and the seat seems to be fine. So far so good on that. What else I want to talk about? The bike, when the road points upward, it climbs really well. It doesn't, nothing seems like it's holding you back. In regards to the road going upward and maybe the stiffness of the bike, it's a very cliche thing to say. Everyone says it about these bikes. You stand up on the pedals and the bike just wants to go forward. It's very stiff. But that really does feel like the case with this bike. It feels like every watt that your legs are putting out is translated to forward motion. It's a very stiff bike. If you want to stand up and sprint, it wants to rip. It just, somehow they've managed to put together a bike that's vertically compliant yet super stiff down low, where you can just hammer it, and you can hammer up hills or you can hammer down the bike path, sprinting, whatever you want to do. This bike rips. And then, of course, the front fork and the front cockpit steers really, really well. It's very precise, very accurate. It just inspires confidence. I think a negative with this bike, you get the integrated stem and bar system. For those folks that, might have a particular, size to them, these might not fit. It's not as easy to kind of like size this bike to you if you have really long arms or really short arms or like a short torso or whatever the situation may be. This bike so far fits me, so I'm happy. But I can see it would be kind of a pain for some folks who have sort of maybe a weirder position because of just maybe their body shape. So that's something to consider. You've got the integrated handlebar and stem that can be swapped out for other options in the market, but I believe it's an oversized down tube at 1¼ inches, so that's going to be a little tricky to find. They are out there. Canyon, I actually called and said, hey, if I get a fit and this bike needs to be tweaked up front, what are the options? They have some options actually. They can sell you some other integrated handlebar systems, or they said there are like maybe 3 or 4 other manufacturers that make handlebars and stems that will fit this bike. So you can buy this bike, I think, with a lot of confidence that it's going to fit you. I went through their normal Canyon sizing system on their website. I'm 5'7", and this is an extra small. So like I said earlier, it's extra small, 14.5 pounds out of the box with my pedals and my cages, about 15 pounds 5 ounces. It fits me. It fits me perfectly. Again, it is a more aggressive fit. But it's also a freaking race bike. So don't expect, maybe all day comfort on a bike like this. But like I said, I did 70 miles. My neck, my back, everything felt great. I can handle it. It's not something that really. I think a lot of folks, if you're into, competitive cycling, you'll have no problem, getting a fit on this bike. So let's get some close-up shots of this bike here, and then we'll let you go. So we got some dirty Dura Ace down here. Let's freaking focus. This is a 11-speed cassette. What does it go, like 28 to 11 tooth? Then we got a 52 to 36 with these chain rings. I love the matte black with the glossy canyon. Why can't I get this damn focus? The red looks amazing on this bike. I love how the red looks. That's a Wahoo bike computer, as you can see. I kind of have it rigged up temporarily. I do have a piece that will go on the underside of the stem here and then kind of come out. So that's where the bike computer will be now. But for the group ride, I wanted all that power data. I wanted my speed. So I just kind of zip tied it to that stem right there and it works fine. And I just hit my head on my lamp. Anyways, here's the Canyon Ultimate 2019 CF SLX. It's a really, really beautiful bike. I love how this bike looks. It rides even better. I'm super happy with it. If you guys are lucky enough to get one, because they go quick, consider yourself lucky. And enjoy your ride. Be safe out there, guys. Thanks.